Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Persona 4 Arena. Today we're going to continue Aigis' story and maybe finish it depending on how long it is. Continue from cliffhanger. Depends on how many fights I get stuck into. Labris murmurs her name to herself. Her head hangs lifelessly as she stares at her mechanical limbs. The shock slowly drains from her pale face, replaced with bitter comprehension. Across from us, the shadow stares at me with a piercing, mocking stare.
You can't be.
I am the same as you. 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I am the model that came after you.
Are you here to seize her? I won't let you.
Oh. Huh. I guess that would make sense. The shadow would want to protect, her real, well, the shadow is the true self, but her non-shadow self from being sealed away again, right?
Not when I'm almost free.
The shadow turns to its double and cries out impatiently.
Or do you want to be caught and locked in a cramped little box again?
Her eyes wander in search of something to settle on and eventually fixate on Yosuke. Though he is still in shock and unable to speak in the heat of the moment, that moment of silence is enough to shatter any hope of peaceful resolution. Oh no, Yosuke! Labris smiles lifelessly and hangs her head.
No, don't get me wrong. I was just a little surprised.
God damn it, Yosuke.
It's okay. That's how a normal person would react.
Her sad, weak voice makes my heart ache.
I won't let you take her back. I will gain my freedom, whatever it takes.
Yeah? Suddenly, the shadow fires its arm out. A long chain trails from behind it that wraps itself around Labris many times over. The shadow begins to pull her in with its wench. Winch? Sure. Unable to struggle, Labris is dragged over to her captive, who lifts her over her shoulder. The shadow then runs full speed out of the announcement room. It fled with explosive velocity that it is hard to believe it was carrying its own weight.
Wait!
Well, I mean, Labris, I guess you can carry a ton of weight, can't you? Even more than yourself? Like, you guys are very designed to be, like, strong. I give chase. It is unfortunate that I cannot explain the situation to Yosuke-san, but I have no choice. I exit into the hallway, and see the shadow make for the stairway leading up. This is the top floor, so it must be heading for the roof. I climb to the landing and take the stairway to 2 steps at a time before throwing open the door. But what I find there is not what would one expect to see on the roof of the building. Oh, so Shadow Labris knew the exit was here? Was she trying to throw Labris out of the TV world? But that would make Shadow Labris disappear, right? It is best described as a TV studio. The spotlights hanging from the scaffolding, the cameras here and there. Up until now, no matter how warped this thing got, they still look like part of a school, but not here. What is this place? Just then the door behind me slams open again and a boy comes running out, breathing hard. It is Yosuke-san. I'm perplexed. Why did he chase after us? There is no one here who would warrant leaving his friend Rise-san's side. Suddenly, the area is shrouded in a menacing aura. The shadow appears. It is still carrying Labris over its shoulder. Labris shouldn't be unconscious, but she isn't showing any signs of resistance.
Persistent pests.
Yeah.
Too bad for you. The Grand Prix is still on. Have fun wasting time fighting each other.
Oh, we're gonna fight Yosuke.
Wait! Whoa.
As soon as Yosuke-san turns around to give chase, he runs up against something. I try stretching out my hand. Just as I thought, there is an invisible wall. Though it wasn't here when I climbed up the stairs, the only door back into the school is the one beyond the wall. In other words, we are trapped. Yosuke-san hangs his head in shame and looks at me awkwardly.
Guess this means we have to fight. Sorry, I feel like I got in your way.
I came here without thinking and fell right into the enemy's trap. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. But as I see it, it isn't Yosuke-san who should be apologizing.
I'm also sorry for all this.
Huh?
We are the ones ultimately responsible for this incident. I am sorry to have dragged you all into it.
Oh, but yeah, the creator group.
If your friends are safe, I would suggest you evacuate at once. But in these circumstances, I must go after her.
There's no need for you to take the blame. I mean, I feel the same about wanting to go after her.
Why? I'm not sure this concerns you.
I promised I'd protect her. I couldn't back her up when she needed me the most.
Oh, when you were silent,
So,
yeah.
I want to apologize and actually keep my promise this time. I feel like I can't leave her alone right now.
So are you her knight in this timeline? In his eyes, I could see a glimmer of solemnity. Sure.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
I review the important parts for him. That personas and shadows are universal, that they have existed since ancient time, and that there are probably little known battles and pacts over the world to harness their powers. What? That there are probably little known battles and pacts all over the world to harness their powers. Sure. That I have experience in one such battle and was in fact created for the purpose. I am a weapon given a heart in order to use a persona. I explained that Labrys was a prototype, long sailed away, and that was lost during a recent incident. Yosuke-san doesn't seem to swallow all of it, but he listens attentively, nonetheless.
There are shadows outside the TV too? Who would have thought?
I was surprised as well, to find out that a world like this was accessible through televisions.
Believe me, we were pretty shocked last year too.
I looked straight into the boy's eyes without laughing at his attempt to lighten the mood. Only the winner can leave, so we must fight. There is no ignoring that cold fact. I suspect that the shadows set this up. To buy time, and yet we wasted even more time explaining the past about shadows and personas. We don't have the moment to waste, but we already did. I don't say anything, but Yosuke seems to get the picture.
Can you tell me something? What's going to happen to Labrys once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
So Yosuke's already like, he's like, I'm probably gonna lose this.
Yeah, I thought so. You did say that she was a weapon after all. Not really surprised you can't talk about it with outsiders.
Is that all? I must go get her back. If you cooperate with me, I am sure I can knock you out painlessly.
In response to my blunt suggestion, a wary smile appears on Yosuke-san's face. However, his eyes still have that gleam.
Sorry, but I can't back down.
Are you really going to fight me?
And waste time?
Not to boast, but you would challenge a living weapon?
I guess you have lost in multiple timelines so far. I don't think he has too much to worry about.
She said she wanted to be free. Hey, I made her a promise. I want to see it through. I guess you could say it's a guy pride thing?
He jokes about it, but there is resolve behind his words. He will not back down from that resolve. What is he really saying? What he really is saying is this: my feelings for Labrys are as strong as yours. I smile inwardly, though it does not show on my face.
I understand. I accept your challenge.
It has been a while since I controlled Aigis, so hopefully I remember some of it. Alright, Yosuke. When's the last time I fought Yosuke, actually? Was it with Teddy? I don't know. I don't remember the last time I fought Yosuke.
Final. Fight.
Oh, right, yeah, you get this. Launch. Oh, no, ow, ow, ow. Stop it. What the hell, Yosuke? Yeah, how do you like them apples? Oh, crap, I just got a shotgun in the face. Well, I don't know what I was about to say there. I was going to say at the same time, it looks like we're doing all right against Yosuke, but then again, sometimes these fights go really well, and then all of a sudden I lose. Oh, like here. Well, this isn't a loss, but I'm definitely getting my butt kicked now. Come on, finish it off. What?
It's showtime!
No! There you go. Nice position there, Yosuke. That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. Yosuke-san smiles sheepishly at me from the floor.
I had a feeling I didn't have a chance against a pro like you. Ow. You sure are strong, Aigis-san.
Are you alright?
Look, I am made of titanium. That's actually not a fact. I forget what she's made out of. It's not titanium, though. He waves his hand to show that he's fine. He should be exhausted. Perhaps the guy pride thing prevents him from admitting it.
Looks like I'll be staying behind.
I will do what I can to not force anything on my sister that she does not want.
Can you tell her that I wanted to apologize to her too? Of course, I'll tell her myself once this is all over, but... Oh, and one more thing. Tell her we can have a party when this is all over.
Yosuke-san.
Oh, you're invited too, of course.
Yeah, you can get the keg. My heart is warmed. He's not just worried about Labrys' safety, he's worried about her heart. I nod vigorously.
Yes, I will make sure to tell her. Though, we are not capable of eating food.
Oh, you can pretend.
Will that be a problem?
No.
Really? Nah, it's no problem at all.
It will save you from Chie and Yukiko's cooking and Risei's cooking, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
I will save Labrys from the world, from this world, from her cell of solitude. There are people in the outside world who accept us as allies. Some of them consider us friends. I'm happy that Hope is so close
Be
by.
careful. That shadow looked pretty strong.
I will. Please stay safe.
I'm gonna watch some TV. As he cheers me on from behind, I leave the roof. As soon as I enter... This from music. As soon as I re-enter the school, I can sense the shadow's presence without needing to scan for it. I followed the presence back to the announcement room. What is waiting for me there is this time. I slowly open the door, wary of an attack. But the room is quiet. No ambush comes. The background's different. I open the door all the way and step inside. Both versions of Labrys await in the back of the room. I quickly step between the two, shielding Labrys from her shadow. But the shadow does not seem alarmed. It spins its axe idly.
You're late. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come. Was Yosuke-kun a tough opponent?
And not the toughest, no. As it finishes the sentence, its axe stops. I brace myself in anticipation of an attack. But the shadow simply smiles brutally.
Just as you thought, the real party begins now.
Just as the words sink in, I hear a sound simultaneously. The heavy sound of the air being sliced behind me. I lunge to the left, slowly on reflexes. A battle axe slams into the ground where I had been only milliseconds ago.
What? Sister!
Oh, so close.
Labrys takes a combat stance with her battle axe. There is a shocked expression in her wet eyes. She has chosen to fight for the Unreal School.
Is this what you really want? What else is there for me?
Labrys sounds resigned to her reply. I have no answer for her. My heart aches as if it was cut by a razor.
It's finally come to this. Sister versus sister.
Oh, we're fighting like the real Labrys?
Begin.
She doesn't have persona though, right? So... The shadow jeers at me with the light. I do not have the presence of mind to deliver a rejoined? Sure. The battle about to play out is straight from the worst case scenario I had envisioned. The very person I hope to save, my sister, I must defeat her with my own hands. Really? Okay. I mean, I get it, but it's kind of sad that Labrys kind of was like, at least in this timeline, has just accepted the illusion she has no persona. Okay. I wonder if you can disable that for like versus mode or something like that. Just disable personas.
Heavy damage, heavy damage.
Heavy damage? You think?
Here.
Oh, stop blocking, you baby.
No.
Stop it. There we go. A heartless armed angel. I'm not heartless. That's literally like one of the things I was made for. A heart.
Please hit. Here, severe impact.
Stop hitting me with the axe.
Go down. No.
God damn.
Severe impact.
Yeah, severe damage too.
Aerial mode. Unlock. Go.
Hit her. Alright, cool.
Go down. Go down. No.
Ah. Nope. Nope. No! I wanted the jump! You dick! Okay, well, let's try again. Oh, man. Oh, you do have your persona, though. Wait, what? Oh, from the picture in the background, I thought it was like...
Finally.
So you don't have your persona, though. It does state your persona. Okay. So I'm assuming no, I can't disable that then, an option then, if that's the case. I don't know. Maybe. Apparently it's a cannon. Go. Got a Naruto run over to her. Oh, God. No, don't jump. Mad. Okay. Got her in a loop. Hit it. We did not hit it. Oh, dive kick, baby. Man, that charge attack of hers does catch me by surprise. Like, I can't time it. It's like, I'm like, okay, as soon as she swings, I'll jump in the air. And like a few times that I fought her, I got it. Like, I was able to just jump over the attack. A lot of the other times, though, she just hits me with it. Labrys loses her strength and falls to her knees.
Why?
The hell was that
Why
noise?
can't I stay like this?
Was that Labrys falling to the ground? The creaking and cracking? Or was that like my neck? The hope she risked so much to gain has been shattered. She mutters piteously as she falls. She's not the only one who wants to collapse. I never imagined this would be so painful. Every time my attacks connected, I felt as if I was tearing out a piece of my heart. This unwanted exchange of violence that will end in one of our destructions leads to nothing but despair. Each time I felt that pain, the memories of Labrys I saw in the classroom, those vivid images, made sense. The sterile, mechanical rooms that made up most of her visual memory. It must have been the facility where she was created. At that facility, Labrys was forced to endure the same pain she is feeling now. In order to gather combat data, she was forced to destroy her sister models, even though they had hearts. Not just once or twice, but over and over and over again. But she didn't kill the researchers when she went berserk, and that made Chronos a little sad. It's too much for my mind to immediately comprehend. Agitation spreads through me like a fever. I clutch my chest.
I knew that you couldn't beat her.
The Shadow, in contrast, is completely nonchalant.
Wow, you really didn't have any qualms about attacking her. Deep down, you must really want to make them suffer, don't you? You want them to go through what you had to. No! You want everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through. Right? That's why we're in a school having a fighting tournament. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand. That ain't true!
That's impossible.
It's no use. Even another living weapon can understand you.
That's not true.
It's alright though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Convenient, really.
Stop! That's all a lie! You're not me! Finally! You finally said it! I'm finally free!
Is it morphin time? The Shadow's eyes start to glow, full of life. It isn't just a change in its attitude, its power seems to actually be rising. Did something in its conversation with Labrys catalyze this change? Too late, it hits me. What did the Shadow want with Labrys? It was trying to buy time, which meant it needed something from her.
It's time for the true star to take the stage.
Its shout shakes the air. As if in response to the cry, the room begins to warp. The view beyond the window shimmers ominously.
Yes, the power!
It's over 9,000! Some variants to the anime cutscenes would have been a little nice. But I get it, right? Like, it's kind of a... It saves resource and money, right? But still, a giant incinerator appears from the darkness. Countless chassis are falling into be cruelly destroyed. Illuminated by the blood-red light of the flames, the shadow reveals its true self. The scene of Labrys and the giant beast chained behind it begins to mind the summoning of a persona. Or brings to mind the summoning of a persona. I run over to Labrys and stand her listless body up. Rude. It seems that the shadow has accomplished its goal with Labrys. I was used, forced to fight my sisters for this purpose. I clench my teeth at my own slowness to comprehend.
Let's get started, shall we?
Sure. This isn't just for Labrys. This is the enemy, the fate of anyone not human.
It seems that I must take responsibility for this.
Alright, Labby-chan, let's do this. Yeah, get the bull, yeah. I wonder if we can select that in the versus screen, too. Maybe not. It's probably like a final boss type deal.
Final.
Like how you couldn't play as that. What the hell's his name? Chaos? Is it Chaos? From Battle Arena Toshinden? I loved that series back in the day. I don't know where 2 and 3 went. I used to have like 3 of them. But I only have the first one now. Like this the disc. I don't know where the other 2 went. I don't think I would have like gotten rid of them. I like really like you're juggling me. That's rude. Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten rid of them though. I really like those games. And what the hell was that secret character name? Shu. Shu was the secret character name. It was really fun to like unlock and play as. There we go. Apparently if I just talk about other fighting games as I'm fighting, it's not that bad. I will admit, Aigis is... Actually, Teddy's and Aigis seemed longer than Yu's. The story-wise, anyways. The monster's form melts away as it disperses like fog. Only a silhouette, similar to Labrys's, remain. It falls to its knees, having no will to resist anymore.
I somehow pulled through.
By kicking your ass. I turn to face the real Labrys.
Are you all right?
She is conscious and seems to have no major damage. All that remains to be tested is her will.
Please listen. I have a message for you. From Yosuke-san. He said that he is sorry for promising to help you and being unable to support you when you needed it most. Additionally, he said that he would be throwing a party later. You are invited, of course.
You're lying.
If
No,
that is what you
he's
think,
back
you
in the
can
roof.
ask
You
him
wanted to
yourself
talk to him,
later.
yeah.
Now please, stand up.
I lend her my shoulder and prop her up. She follows my lead, but her legs are still
How
shaking.
come this happened? I didn't want to hurt anyone or make them suffer.
I know. That was a shadow going berserk. Not everything it said reflects your true feelings.
Kind of twists your true feelings a little
I
bit.
had a similar experience, actually. My other self was on the verge of going berserk. It told me there was an innate contradiction in having a heart, but not being human, preventing me from truly protecting others.
Wasn't that tough to listen to?
Yeah, but then Elizabeth showed up and kicked my
Yes,
ass.
of course.
Then how can you stand it? How are you still acting like everything's fine?
I'm fine right now, but I'm sure I will suffer that pain again someday. Very probably, as long as I am myself, it will never go away as long as I live.
It won't? Then what can I do but give up? What am I supposed to do?
We'll be all right, as long as we have friends.
And you're not alone anymore either, right? You got your sister here. Labrys opens her eyes
It was
wide.
when you were alone that you suffered most. I'm sure of it. If you do not give up on reaching out to others, you will surely find someone who understands. Or maybe...
As I say this, I can hear voices from outside. They are calling our names. The voices grow closer and closer, and eventually one of the doors flies open.
Hey, there you are! Thank goodness!
Are you two okay?
You seem to have the matter in hand.
Kanji-san and Rise-san arrive shortly after. Now that the shadow has been defeated, the invisible walls trapping them have disappeared. There are some faces new to me as well. As I recall from the video, they are Yu Naokumi-san and Yukiko Amagi-san. There was also a costume that looks like General Teddy. This must be the real Teddy that Chie-san mentioned. The resemblance is strong, but this one is so charming that it is hard to hate him. Really? Everyone has considered words from Labris. My heart is filled with warmth. It's like a stark contrast when we were playing as Teddy. They could have ignored us outsiders and escaped, but they didn't. They were truly worried about us and came running. All of them. I addressed Labris, who is looking back and forth between me and them with a perplexed look.
It might be more accurate to say that those who understand you are already here. Of course, I want to understand you as well. Please talk to me whenever you want. Tell me about your memories, even if you have to take them one at a time.
Labris sinks deep into thought, then looks at me again. I nod silently. She slowly starts walking and stops in front of the shadow, who stands as quietly as a real shadow at the other end of the room.
You were right. I was always alone, so I had no one to talk to, no matter how much it hurt.
So we know you dreamed while you were sealed away. From your story, anyways. That's how you heard her voice and you accepted the life as a student. But were you also somewhat conscious in that box, too?
And I went and blamed that on them.
Because you've only been here like a day. Not to diminish like any emotional pain you got, but I feel like just being a day alone is not that bad. He says when he doesn't leave his room for like a week. That's not true. I gotta use the bathroom and go food shopping.
You all alone.
Labris looks different in that picture there in the anime when she smiles.
No. You are me, after all.
Still should have kept the bull, I think. I mean, the chain attacks this one does is pretty cool, too.
This is my persona.
Yeah, you could have just read the nameplate when we went to battle.
This reminds me of us from last year.
Yeah, it's the same thing. She's really no different from us.
Yosuke-san and the others laugh. To acknowledge one's weakness in front of others. They must have earned their personas through the same ordeal, except for you, who just kinda got his. I can see now why their bond is so strong. The tension in the air evaporates. Just as Labris' expression softens, a familiar voice comes from behind.
Is that Labris?
Everyone turns to look at the newcomer.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san, you're all right.
Of course we are.
I run towards them. Neither of them appear to be injured. I notice that Yosuke-san and the others are not surprised to see them. They must have already been aware of the situation, though they react to their arrival differently.
Who are these people and what the hell are they wearing?
Understandable.
Oh man, a dude storming across the battlefield in just a cape? I am
Chie,
all
calm
about
down.
that.
I'd say you've got good taste.
Seriously?
Labris grabs weakly at my arm.
Don't worry.
I smile and nod. She still bites her lip in anxiety, but she is no longer afraid of everything.
You're Labris, correct?
Labris simply nods in response to Mitsuru-san's question as she walks up. There is a moment of silence. Mitsuru-san's sigh of release breaks
I'm
it.
glad you're safe.
Labris smiles back awkwardly. The look on her face helps dispel the tension in Yosuke-san and his friends. Mitsuru-san notices this as well. I step forward alongside Mitsuru-san to introduce ourselves and show our appreciation. It seems they have never met a Persona user who didn't awaken in the TV world. We spend some time discussing our respective circumstances. That's gotta be a hell of a story to go over. Gonna take more than a couple minutes though, I would be surprised. Or I would assume. Teddy leads us back to the roof. They say that this was the place they used to enter and exit this world. Labris, who still doesn't quite understand that she is in the TV, cocks her head in bewilderment. Yosuke-san and his friends gather around her and explain everything. She is shocked at first, but as she grows accustomed to the idea, she begins laughing. Relieved, I leave Labris to them. I approach Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. I relay to them all the information I've gathered on this case so far. I tell them that the tournament's host was Labris' shadow, which has emerged from her, and that Labris may have not been stolen, but that she may have escaped on her own. She has the ability to manipulate people's senses. That would explain the signs of mental interference found on the hijackers. We were able to discover Inaba through our research. Perhaps she used the same methods. It would have taken time, but she was sealed away for over 10 years. Really? Jesus. Oh, Snowy is so goddamn dead. I hope he found a nice home by then, though. Although she was caged, it is not clear whether she was conscious or not during that period. She had more than enough time. Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san show no surprise, but they do not let out a long sigh. In contrast to Mitsuru-san, who is lost in thought, Akihiko-san goes to get an answer straight from the source. Labris startles when he taps her on the shoulder.
So when did you actually awaken?
Akihiko-san's question is blunt, but Labris handles it calmly, knowing that it is the natural thing to ask.
No, I can't remember.
She's being honest. She had used her ability on herself. Not even she knew who she really was. But Akihiko-san seems skeptical. Having no memory of it also means that she is unable to deny it.
Please, Mitsuru-san, can you be lenient with her?
Mitsuru-san folds her arms and thinks. I know she is in a difficult position. Though Labris may have a heart, that does not make her human. She is a weapon with dangerous capabilities. Mitsuru-san cannot decide based on her personality alone what measures to take, especially now that we are affiliated with the police. We have our reputation to consider.
Yeah, would you, please?
Yosuke-kun.
I know I'm asking without knowing the whole story here, but please don't lock her up again.
Even his friends seem surprised by his outburst, but soon enough, they are all giving Mitsuru-san the same pleading looks. Mitsuru-san winces before giving a weary smile.
Well, I hadn't intended to seal her away again to begin with.
Mitsuru-san.
Seriously? Did you hear that?
It should be a walk in the park compared to the challenge of sending Aigis to school.
She has no intention of locking her away. The smile on Mitsuru-san's face confirms that much.
Thank you so much.
How about if we go outside? This isn't really the place to stand around and chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a hell of a way to start off a holiday, but at least it's over. Man, why'd that shadow have to pick our school and us of all people?
Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san freeze.
You know, that is odd now that you mention it. I was told this place takes its shape from a person's memories. Why would it become this high school?
I had picked up on that incongruity as well. Putting aside that Inaba was chosen as the escape destination, why was a specific school so carefully recreated? I also have my doubts about Labris' power. Strictly speaking, it doesn't rob one's sanity. What her power really does is cloud one's senses with illusions. I'm not sure that would have been enough to control those hijackers so completely.
Hey, Labris.
Akihiko-san calls out the Labris again. The instant he puts his hand on her shoulder, she suddenly twitches.
Hey, what's the matter?
Labris abruptly leaps backwards. Everyone is baffled to see her white body flying over their heads.
She's...
Stay back, everyone!
Aigis-san is the first to realize the danger and yells a warning to the others.
Sister?
We have to fight her again? Oh, well, I guess we haven't fought her with a new persona, right? Labrys stands there motionlessly. Slowly, her right hand reaches for the battle axe on her back. Tension fills the air.
Why?
The blade of the axe is pointed towards me. I do not comprehend. What's going on? As I stand there confused, Labrys slowly lowers her stance, readying herself for battle. I open my mouth to try to persuade her, but I can't. There is no time. Labrys now has the use of her persona. She will be stronger than before. Maybe. If I don't focus on counterattacking, I'll lose. I clench my jaw and hold in the despair that threatens to overwhelm me. I must concentrate on the problem at hand. Alright, let's kick Labrys' ass again. Hopefully. Could lose, you never know.
Final. Fight.
Oh, from the back! Oh, that's rude. There you go. For some reason, she didn't attack me when I thought she would. No, 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 no! There we go. Oh, almost perfect her. Oh, it's a shame. So close. Seriously, she has a long story, Aigis, doesn't she? Labrys falls to the ground with a thud.
Labrys!
I try to run to her, but I stop when I hear an unearthly
You
voice.
succeeded in repulsing it yet again. Very unexpected.
Everyone takes a defensive stance and looks around.
What is this?
This is a different voice.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
It's certainly an ominous presence. That voice.
Is that my voice?
Oh, it's Shadow Aigis? Yes, it is. Before I can react, an unnatural-looking shadow, a clump of darkness thick as a pool of blood, forms next to Labrys. Our true enemy rises from the sludge. It is a sight I will never forget.
No. Aigis-san's shadow?
To think you'd fight back this fiercely. No wonder you once drove back a god. Yes, I want them even more now.
Who?
Want them? What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Yosuke-san lashes out at the enemy, but it ignores him and continues talking.
Sadly,
Consistent.
it seems things won't be going according to plan this time. But I'll make use of what tools I have to the very end.
So, this isn't
This is
Aigis?
my last
Shadow
chance. No, more like a marvelous entertainment. Entertainment?
Instead of answering, it raises its right hand over her.
Stand, my puppet.
Labrys stands up as it is being pulled by strings.
Controlling her?
Sister!
She doesn't answer. Her face is a blank stare, and her shoulders hang unnaturally. She is every inch its puppet. Confused, I look again at the enemy. Is that my shadow? It looks like me, but its voice, its powers, they're also different from mine. But before I can come to a conclusion, the enemy uses Labrys to make its next move.
This form is exhausted from constant battle and will be useless as an asset. But unless you destroy it, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
With the battle axe in hand, Labrys dashes forward without warning. Her attack is much more forceful than in the last battle. Even with all my strength, I am being pushed back.
Oh, crap. If this keeps up...
Let's do this! Takemika!
Wait! Don't interfere!
But...
Please!
I clench my teeth. Labrys is under that thing's control and ignoring her own limits, and she's already damaged and exhausted from the previous battle. If we all attack, we might be able to contain her, but she could be destroyed in the process.
Now, may you suffer and curse your fate. Relinquish your personas.
Huh.
Relinquish?
Can you do that?
Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Oh.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness.
So this isn't Aigis' real shadow.
Old wounds that you thought you had overcome, opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts.
Oh, so okay.
Personas.
When Elizabeth came to us, that wasn't her real shadow either then. Which kind of answers my questions like, how is that possible? You have a shadow, you have a persona with you.
This one's
Or your
desire
persona's
to make
awakened.
people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
You bastard. Who are you?
You had best hurry and decide. Who will be destroyed? This shell or the lot of you?
Labrys flies through the air again and unleashes a full force attack. I am forced to one knee. If she attacks again, but just when I'm sure if it's over, something happens.
Sorry, but this show is over.
I see Mitsuru-san stand straight up out of the corner of my eye. Suddenly, the menacing aura surrounding Labrys is dispelled like magic.
What?
For the first time, the enemy seems shocked. Freed from the spell, Labrys falls back to the ground.
Sister!
I run to her and cradle her in my arms. What was that? Mitsuru-san smiles defiantly and glances up to the sky.
It's like you made it in the nick of time.
Oh, is it Elizabeth?
You saved us, Yamagishi.
Yamagishi? An answering voice echoes in my head. That soft but extremely reassuring voice.
Are you all okay?
Fuka! I forgot your last name. I'm loving the hair.
Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi-san. She is a fellow ally who helped us overcome the challenges we faced in the past. I cannot help but smile with surprise and joy.
So you had a third assistant.
Ooh, what a soothing voice! My Teddy senses are telling me that this is a real cutie pie.
She will nuke you, Teddy, so be careful.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she? This feeling. What the?
Risa-san opens her eyes and looks up.
Voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
Even before I can ask, Fuka-san tells me what I want to know.
Aigis, the enemy is just mimicking your appearance. It's not actually a part of you.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
Mitsuru-san stares at the enemy in shock. We hear Fuka-san's words as she is speaking, but technically, there is no sound. She transmitted her voice directly into people's minds. Other people should hear nothing. Yet the enemy is responding to her. I raise my guard in spite of myself, but there is no fear in me. My doubts about the enemy, my hesitation, are gone. My heart starts to burn. What is this? I've never felt this heated emotion before that's running through my body. Oh,
You
hatred?
must be the one behind all
Anger?
this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
So this must be the real puppet master.
Then, that voice who tried to dissuade me back in that classroom.
Yeah.
You're quite slow for a machine. Can't you tell by looking at me who that was?
So that wasn't something my heart saw, but just a malicious whisper. The fire in my heart is stoked higher, and I make a fist without realizing it. I thought this entire incident was just an unfortunate event caused by my sister's suffering, but her pain was only orchestrated by someone. This isn't her tragedy. Someone saw to it that this would happen. And not just to Labrys. Whoever did this tried to manipulate the pain in my heart too, by poisoning as my shadow. And to top it off, the culprit posed as everyone here to make them distrust each other, reopening old wounds. This was all an evil plan. I'm not human, but because of that, I hold the hearts and bonds of others to be sacred. They saved me. They keep me going now. And yet, it's tested those bonds and used our anguish for its own purpose. Our hearts were nothing but tools to it. Tools that hurt others. I see. I get it now. This roiling, violent urge of emotion. This shaking, burning erupting sensation. I realize that this is a type of emotion which can be best described in a single word. This is fury.
Are you angry? All right, I'll play along. The show must go on, right?
I guess.
You've gone too far.
Alright, I guess we're fighting Aigis now, or Shadow Aigis, or fake Shadow Aigis? Yeah?
Finally.
Oh! Yo, Ginger Aigis! I'm a fan. I'm digging the golf look too. You have rockets! How do I do the rockets? This tells me nothing. Missile launcher? No, I gotta try the missile launcher. I can't. Fire? What? No? Alright, well. No, come on! There we go. Let's try to actually beat her now. I wanted to try the damn rockets, but... Ow. That hurt. What? I don't even know what you hit me with there. I actually have no idea what you hit me with there. Okay, let's try to win from the start and try, instead of trying to do rocket mode. Maybe try to do rocket mode once or twice.
Finally.
Made it seem like I just had to do like the down and back to the left. Oh, you dick. Stop doing that! How do you like it? Oh, that's not... That's not the rockets. Okay, well, you need to stop doing that one, okay? Like, seriously. You just copying me? I mean, yeah, she is you, Chronos. Yo, that cut-in picture looks... That looks amazing! Ginger Shadow Aigis is awesome looking. God damn it. Yeah, alright. Okay. I'm assuming we're nearing the end now. This thing shaped like me falls to the ground on its knees, but it gets right back up with an awkward jerking motion and lets out an insane laughter. The smile on its face, contrasted with its damaged limbs, has the airiness of a clown.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes that I confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Those are the words of a sore loser.
This is only a temporary form. I doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game.
Oh, you can hear the male voice now.
All that irritates me is having to feign cooperation with that foolish human until I obtain the one true vessel.
No, I don't think that is the male voice now. What do you mean foolish human? That foolish human. That's an odd choice of words. It would seem to imply not only that it is not human, but also that it is working with a human to carry out its crimes.
I'll see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
Good evil laugh. It let out a righteous laugh with my face. After that, it slowly fades away, dissipating into thin air.
Yamagishi.
Mitsuru-san quickly calls out. However,
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
also, you have a different voice actress. You sound very familiar, though.
Back to square one again.
Akiko-san lets out a heavy sigh.
Sheesh. It even had to exit on a lame, evil laugh.
Shut up, Yosuke. That was a good evil laugh.
Another guys, huh?
Don't even think about coming around here again!
You tell him, Chie.
Should we put up some talismans? I've got a lot left over from when we were putting them up in our inn.
I guess?
Well, even if it shows up again, it'll get double the pain we gave it this time.
Who could it be, though?
Who
How do you
could
know
it be
about our
now?
personas?
That aside, it sure had a sneaky way of doing things. This is twice I've been kidnapped into the TV world, you know. Twice!
That's a good point. Their irritation is obvious. It's only natural. They were toyed with as well, and they do not take Labrys's treatment as a tool too well. But I cannot encourage them to settle this score. Akio-san apparently thinks the same thing.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Like you did this
Wait, but
time?
It kind of said it was still after us.
Of course. You should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
But
Guys, let's leave this to them.
You can...
are you serious?
Hayukin?
They're right that we need to go back for now. You look beat.
Yusan, aware of their situation, speaks out. Perhaps he senses our dilemma?
I'm sorry, everyone.
He nods and looks at Yosuke-san, who reluctantly gives up. Their ability to communicate through eye contact only proves the strength of their bond.
Alrighty, attention please. The trip doesn't end until we get out of the TV.
Dude, we were in the middle of a conversation. What's this about a trip? You really gave us a scare disappearing like that. And this isn't the first time either.
It's not my fault. Or should I actually sponsor the next Miss Inaba?
What?
Don't even think about it.
Chie-san's fist is still shaking with anger after impacting Teddy at full strength. There are times when you should give it your all because it's your friend. Ah, how beautiful friendship is. I comprehend. After everyone calms down, we finally move on to the main subject. We are on the roof to begin with, to leave this world. After getting everyone's attention, Teddy makes a few narcissistic remarks and clicks his heels. Then, like a magic trick at a party, some old TVs appear in a puff of smoke.
What are you doing with this ancient TV? Hang on, where'd you even get this?
It's a Teddy Vision. You can get out from here.
This TV is our escape route? Can we really fit inside?
Ooh, are you a little too front-loaded to fit?
Oh, God.
I wouldn't mind helping you squeeze through.
You can stab him.
You're even worse than before, you know that?
Chie-san and Yosuke-san jump in without hesitation, showing how used to it they are. Seeing that, Akiko and Mitsuru-san shrug and follow suit. Labrys's eyes are wide to see everyone getting sucked into a TV, but she doesn't look scared. Her eyes are actually bright as she glances this way. I can't help but smile at that. She doesn't need my permission to do anything. I tell her to go ahead and she dives in headfirst with a giant grin. Although, just as I thought, her wings can't fit and she gets caught on the screen. I burst into laughter to see her legs sticking out of the TV, kicking wildly. I take off the unit on her back and she instantly gets sucked into the TV. I wonder if she landed safely. As the last one left, I turn around and take a final look. It doesn't feel like it, but it's only been a few hours since we entered the TV, and only 3 days since the hijacking. Okay, so it's been like 4 days. It was a horrible nightmare, but at the same time, I met some good people. But most importantly, it isn't over. The true test may still be to come. I push my toes in and slip into the TV. How'd you get the wings in? Everyone made it back out safely. This is some music. When we return to the real world, I am surprised to find myself in Junes, a large department store. I have never seen Mitsuru-san so flustered. Even she could not have expected to emerge in the most crowded place in the town, and from a display TV at that. But to make it back to the limousine, we have no choice but to walk through the store. Mitsuru-san in her skin-tight suit, Akihiko-san mostly naked except for his cape, me with my mechanical parts exposed, and Labrys with her axe, or her wings, I suppose. Not to mention Teddy. Risa-san and Naoto-san are both public figures. One is an idol and the other is a detective. We make quite an outlandish procession. Considering the nature of our operation, I hope to avoid having my picture taken with phone cameras. However, as we walk along, I soon find that my fear of cameras is baseless. In fact, it is not cameras we need to worry about at all, it is the police. I find myself anxious in this completely unexpected situation. An arrest would mean disgrace as an unofficial unit, and I'm sure Yosuke-san and the others would like to avoid the inside of a juvenile hall. Everyone hesitantly agrees with each other and takes off at full speed. Yosuke's gonna get fired. I can hear Yosuke and Chie-san loudly complaining about the unfairness of the world. Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san exchange fearless smiles, though cold sweat is streaming from their heads. But Teddy and Labrys seem like they're having fun. I don't think they understand the situation. Yu-san and Yukiko-san run without a word, like determined athletes. Kanji tries to turn and fight every so often, but with Naruto-san having to stop him each time. Risa-san switches on her cell phone to find an alarming number of missed calls, which seem to be the bigger problem with her. In the end, our partings with the Yamagishi Yasogami High School students concludes with a brief goodbye as we all scatter like birds. That's true. I guess I didn't really realize that they were going to come out of Junes. That night, we decided to stay the night in Inaba for a quick health checkup and a review of the case. After finishing the necessary steps, we decided to take an early rest. The true culprit is still out there, and Labrys needs to get to a lab for proper maintenance. After 10 years of stasis, she was suddenly forced into a series of stressful battles. It would not be surprising if some of her parts are now malfunctioning. Considering the morning traffic, we should leave early in the day. Or so I suggest, but Labrys has other ideas. May 4th, the next day. Our car is parked near an intersection away from the main road. We are here to say goodbye to everyone. Labrys wanted it this way. I am happy that she wishes to see people again of her own will. On the other side of the street, all the people we met yesterday are gathered to see Labrys one last time. They wished to say goodbye to her, but they had not expected us to contact them.
I asked if I could come see everyone. I wanted to give everyone a real goodbye.
What do you do next? Are you going back to that lab?
No, I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and them.
Well, you're gonna go back to the lab to get a checkup first, though, right?
I want to do my damnedest to catch whoever used me to bait a trap for you all.
Alright. Then I guess the party's on hold until after everything's really over. But hey, you should come see us again anyway. Promise me, okay?
You got it.
Labrys shakes hands with them. Even after we leave, Labrys keeps waving through the rear window. Waving and waving and waving. Waving and waving and waving, even past the point where the human eye can no longer see her. She is still waving. After she has waved to her heart's content, she turns to see Fuka-san and I looking at her and blushes. Fuka-san giggles.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Indeed. Things are going to heat up from now on. I must get back and reallocate my staff.
You're including me in there, right? Every opponent I made a mistake against on my journey, I made sure to go back and get a rematch. This'll be no different.
It should spur discussion amongst the staff again about working Yamagishi into our unit.
Huh? I'm still not sure about joining any special unit.
Oh, but you're a very special lady, Fuka, who can just kill her party on a whim. Flustered, Fuka-san starts wringing her hand. Looking at the seat next to me, I noticed Labris looking at the sky from her
I
window.
didn't know the sky was so blue.
There was a deep wistfulness in her voice.
Back at the lab, they only let me out at night. But this... I feel like I've seen it once before. That same bright blue sky.
Once before. I recalled the memory relating to those words amongst the countless memories of Labris awakened within me. The sea. That cerulean sky and lingering clouds. The emerald blue water. In my mind, I placed Labris at the scene. A white figure gazing from the edge of the pier. Huh. I know this scenery. For an instant, it feels that I do. Like a knot slowly undoing itself, the lid to a box inside of me opens, and something hot fills my chest. What had been only an image becomes a memory. Soon after, I understand everything. I know when Labris saw the scene. I know what she thought when she saw it, and what she wished for.
Ah, I see now.
Noticing my murmuring, Labris looks at me in wonder.
The scenery from your memory was the pier outside of the Yakushima laboratory.
Suddenly, Labris's eyes open in surprise.
The date was the final day before you were sealed. You made a heartfelt wish there. You hoped that your successor would make the same wish to see someone precious to them, and that meeting would take place at the pier. You dreamed that your successor would be able to go beyond that pier, to places you would never be able to see for yourself, and that even if your memories were deleted, your feelings would be passed on to the next generation.
Labris Ruby's eyes begin to quiver. My words have unearthed her buried memories.
That's right.
It was at that very place where I met the friends I have now.
Well, you ran away from two of them, and then you hugged one of them surprisingly.
When I was searching for someone, I found myself naturally drawn there for some reason.
My memories return to a certain encounter. That day, on that very same pier, I met him. My dear friend.
I think it was because of your wish.
My wish? You mean the thing I wished for that day actually came true?
Indeed. It stayed alive for 10 years. Thank you, Labris. It's because of you that I found happiness.
Huh. I didn't know that. My desires, all the feelings I got from the others, they didn't go to waste.
Tears stream down Labris's cheeks. I stretch out my finger to wipe them off, but it is already wet from a drop of my own cheek. Mitsuru-san and Fuka-san smile at us gently. Fuka-san seems a bit teary-eyed herself.
I gotta thank you, too. You made me remember something important.
Like Snowy? After wiping her tears, Labris looks at me, her eyes clear and determined.
There's someone I have to find. I need to meet her so I can tell
I
her
actually
something.
thought you were going to say Snowy for a second. I am about to extend my hand to shake hers, but it now seems too distant a gesture for we sisters. Instead, I pull her towards me and look her in the face, look at her face to face.
I'm sure you will. You're not alone anymore. We can search for her together.
Maybe.
Yeah. Thanks.
We gotta find that dog, though. It's probably dead. It's been 10 years. Hopefully it lived a good life. As the sun shines down, she gives me the biggest smile I've seen on her yet. Is that the end? That is the end, and we have Elizabeth's story now available. Okay. So I think next time, I'm gonna do Yosuke's, and then after Yosuke's, I'll do Elizabeth's, and then we might jump into Ultimax story mode. Yeah, that doesn't mean we won't come back to one of these characters, but I think we'll do Yosuke's and then Elizabeth's, and then we'll go do like Ultimax, and maybe we'll come back and do like Naoto's or Mitsuru's eventually. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, press like and below. If you're not subscribed yet, why don't you have my video so I can check out some of the content, see if it's to your liking. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.